Now, one of my favorite songs that you were on was Big Daddy Kane's "Pimpin' Ain't Easy."
Pimpin' ain't easy. Anything goes when it comes to hoes. Ain't that crazy?
Yep. Now, what's interesting about that song, when you look back on it right now, is that at the time, Big Daddy Kane's DJ was Mr. C.
Yes.
In that song, there's a verse where Big Daddy Kane said, the Big Daddy Kane, no, he said the Big Daddy law is anti-faggot. That means you're a How do you feel about that whole thing, you being on that song and everything else like that, to years later, Mr. C gets caught with transsexuals and came out and actually admitted that, you know, he's into transsexuals and that type of thing?
Hey man, hey, to each his own, you know. Like on that Raw sketch where Eddie Murphy said, the guy was like, hey man, hey, I'm gonna go have a beer. And the other guy was like, I'm gonna suck somebody's dick. I don't know. You know, to each his own. C's still my man. That's my boy, man. I love him. I actually spoke to him not too long ago. You know, we used to kick it all the time hard back in the day, man. And I never had no idea, nothing like that. But that's his preference. To each his own.
So there was nothing back then to make you think that C might be into men?
Nah, I wouldn't been able to see it. Not at all.
When you found out, how did you feel?
I was in shock. I mean, like anyone else, you're going to be in shock, you know, especially if you didn't have no idea about that. I had no idea whatsoever. But as growing and being a mature man, you learn to mind your business. Don't count another man's pockets. To each his own.
Yep, absolutely. Now you were on Dwick. Which is, I mean, considered one of the best Gang Starr songs ever. How did that particular song come together? Because it was a bit, you know, I mean, like Gang Starr kind of had the whole Gang Starr Foundation and the people that they worked with and stuff like that. Doing a song with Nice and Smooth was like, oh, that's kind of different. Like where did that come from?
First and foremost, we were friends. So that's basically where it all extended from. We were friends, and we always wanted to put something together. And at that time, you know, we were more like the party dudes. Everything, you know, the girls like Nice and Smooth. They play our stuff in the clubs and the parties, and Gang was more like raw to the core to the guys and underground. And we figured it would bridge something and make it better. And we wanted to do it for a couple of years. And me and Preem was trying to stay focused on it all day. You know, I mean, those are my buddies where when they lived in the same apartment in the Bronx, I used to go over to the crib and chill all day in a one-bedroom apartment and do different things, you know. So that's what it was about. So when it was time to make music, that was, hey, man, music is universal. That's what I don't understand. Like today, you make music with whoever you feel and whatever you like. You may not be into this kind of sound, but, you know, I respect that. To each his own. Let's break bread. Like when Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney got together, it was a whole different background, but the way they made that record, it was great. Bob Marley and Stevie Wonder, and that's what it's about, man. So when we did that, it was magnificent, man. Actually, when we recorded it, I remember Dub C from West Coast was there in the studio with us. Dub C was there. He was laying on the couch. I remember he got him in the middle. He was like, "Hey, dog, that right there is banging, dog. That's gonna be the joint." And, you know, I went in there and did that on one take. I was like, Preem was like, hey, baby, however you want to do it. He's like, come here. He took my finger, he hit the button. Was like, come on now, you're going to program the beat with me. Come on. Okay, now we did this. I was like, yo, you crazy. He like, I love you, Berkey. And I went in there and was like, hey, a Gang Starr has got to be the sure shot. And from there, it was gone. It was gone. I remember, man, we was riding uptown, coming from MTV. We went to MTV when it used to be on Times Square. And we were standing outside MTV. It was me and Premier and a friend of mine and Ed and Dre. And we were standing there. We had the big metal tape. Just got it from the mastering lab. It was like, check this out. Threw it an MPV that Premier had. It was like, what is that? That day, we riding uptown to Harlem. Just keep playing it on repeat. Boom, 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 boom. The next day when it hit the mix shows, that summer, it was over, man. That experience, I mean, I know the guys today, they're having their fun, but you ain't gonna never feel that. That experience was amazing, and everything was so new and fresh. So it was the greatest thing, man, doing that record with those guys. I loved them.
Rest in peace, because Guru died way too young.
Yeah, and way too strange.
Yeah, I mean, being a friend of his, and I actually interviewed Premier, and we talked about this. I think maybe a few months after his passing. Premier thought that there was something definitely wrong with that whole situation with MC Solar and the dude that was next to him, and the whole thing was kind of just seemed.
It was weirded out. It was weirded out, and you know, their attorney is my attorney and is our friend. So. And he's a close friend to Guru, so it was strange. Even with him, we'll sit back at the crib like, what is going on, you know? Guru was a different person all the time. He was a different guy. He was a different person, so. But I don't think that's the way to go out. But God bless his soul. I've had wonderful times with him, crazy times with him, things that I won't even gonna say on this tube. But if he's watching down, he knows, boy. Whoo, the adventures of Guru Rizzy.
So there was a line on "Funky for You" where you said Dizzy Gillespie played the sax.
Right.
When in fact Dizzy Gillespie played the trumpet.
And in fact, Dizzy Gillespie does play the sax. And
does he?
And he mastered the flugelhorn.
Ah, okay. Because that's always been something that was brought up, like over the years, like.
Yeah, that's like saying Justin Bieber sings a song. Justin Bieber plays the drums too, right? Mm-hmm. He plays other instruments too.
Dizzy Gillespie played the sax as well.
That's right. And mastered the flugelhorn.
Okay, but he was known for the trumpet.
For the flugelhorn. A flugelhorn is the extension of a trumpet, and you always see them with a flugelhorn.
I'm a fan of Drake. I'm a fan of the idea of Drake, so no disrespect against Drake.
What do you mean by the idea of Drake? What does that mean?
Meaning that if he has a ghostwriter, he's an idea. He's not meaning that it's a perception created that he's not really writing the lyrics, and it's just like here, let's make this in the factory and put it out.
I'm just on top of my game right now, Vlad, and I'm just getting blessed. I'm booked 4 or 5 times a week, 60 to 75K a show, man. I'm winning right now, man, and I'm just steady trying to increase my hustle.